Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fifth grade concept of dividing unit fractions and whole numbers. This is standard 5.3L in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 17 for the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so Miri has got some pies. Each pie is cut into equal slices. All right, so when we see this word equal slices, this is going to let us know that we are dealing with equal groups. When you see any type of phrase that lets you know that we're dealing with equal groups, it lets us know that we're going to multiply or divide because that is what we're doing with equal groups. We are multiplying or we are dividing. So each of these slices is 1/6 of the pie. How many slices does Mary have? Let's draw some pies. I'm going to use the connect line feature here. And let's see. Let's make some pies, and I'm going to do it like this. So this is going to be one pie. I'm doing it like this strategically. You'll see in just a moment. Two pies. I'm using the grid feature here. All right, so look, I've got three pies. I'm use a different color. It says that each slice is 1/6 of the pie. So hopefully you see make it a little bit less transparent. You see the squares that I put in there. I want to cut each of these pies into 6 pieces. So there we go. 2 rows of 3. Now I've got my pie right there, and if you were to look, right, I could label each of these as 1/6. So this is going to be, 6/6 of the whole pie. This is 6/6 of the whole pie. This is 6/6 or the whole pie. Well, how many slices of pie does Mary have? Well, I've got 6. I've got 12, right? I've got 18. If I put that all together, that's going to be 18 slices of pie. Each of them are 1/6. Now, how can I represent that with an equation? Well, what we did is we took our whole. We've got 3 pies. And we divided it, right? I took each of my pies and I divided it into a fraction. A fraction. And each of these fractions was 1/6. Now, we call these unit fractions. And they're unit fractions simply because they are a fraction that has a numerator of 1. It's the smallest piece of whatever the denominator is that you can make. You can't have less than one piece and actually have a piece. So that is our unit fraction. So I took my 3 whole pies, divided them into 1/6, and I ended up with 18 pieces, as we saw there. Now, when we divide, typically you would think that your answer, your quotient, would get smaller, but look, 18 is a lot bigger than 3. Well, what we find is that when we divide by a unit fraction, it actually serves as doing the same thing as if we multiply by its reciprocal. So these two signs are opposite, multiplication and division. And these two are reciprocals. So reciprocal is just another word for a quantity that you can multiply by another quantity to get back to 1. So if we have 1/6 as our unit fraction, what would I have to multiply that by to get back to 1 whole? Well, what you do is, if it's a fraction, you simply flip it upside down. 6/1. Because 1 times 6 equals 6, right? And it equals 6, and 6 times 1 equals 6, and that equals 1 whole. And 6 ones, or 6 oneths, that just equals 6. So when you are dividing by a unit fraction, you can keep this, the whole number the same. You can change the sign from a division to a multiplication, and then you can flip the fraction upside down from 1/6 to 6/1, or just 6, and you'll still get that same answer of 18. So how many slices of pie does Mary have? She has 18 slices. The answer is A.